Welcome back to Naturally Spiritual, where we correlate the spiritual with the natural. I'm Cheryl,
And I'm Sherry.
and we're here celebrating National Book Day.
It is today.
It is today, right?
And there's so much in books. Books are so reading those books is so fundamental
Right,
and a huge requirement in life.
right.
But books are interesting.
They really are.
And so today on this day we celebrate, internationally even. And just we encourage you to pick up some books. Well, I shouldn't say that because at this juncture it's probably too late to go to the library. So I'm gonna have to direct
Right.
you
So,
to e-tailers,
look, yes.
So go online and look at those covers, read those little small inserts and put those books in your carts and go ahead and get you some books.
Right, and I have to compel you because the age old directive used to say never judge a book by its cover.
True.
But I look, watch this. Look at this cover. Isn't this great? It's so vibrant, right? So it draws you to it. So sometimes you do have to judge that book by how the cover looks. Because I gotta admit, this right here,
it's saying
something, right?
And then it's written by none other than yours truly,
right.
Cheryl and Sherry.
Right.
So go pick up this
Go pick up that book because I'm gonna tell you what. There's a lot of in between that makes it informative, interesting.
Right.
Watch this, relevant.
Okay.
That natural part with that spiritual part, right?
Yeah.
Humorous.
Okay.
Because you gotta admit these are funny girls right here. You look connected.
Right.
Look to real life, right?
Real life.
And it's also fun, right? And guys, we know we're plugged. A little plug into our book.
Right.
We have to, but in all honesty, all books should have that in it. Look, all books should draw you, right?
Right, and you should always read with enthusiasm.
Right.
Read those books, get engrossed in those books.
Right. You gotta let it become you.
Right.
You become the book, right?
Right.
And you find that character, especially in fictional books.
Right.
You be that character. And if you're the reader and reading to someone, the educator in me, I'll tell you now, you will lose your audience if you don't read with intonation, right?
Right, I know I will. Look, and my toddler have me reading so many books at night, I'll fall asleep on him, and he'll go wake me up and say, "Well, what did it say?
Right.
What they say?" Oh Lord, and I have to go back and find my page and help them maybe out read. But dude comes with 6 and 7 books at night.
Right, and I'll tell you, not just him. When kids are into books, when they've been read, research shows it.
Mm-hmm.
When children have been read to, they are very avid readers themselves.
That's so true.
Because I'll tell you what, it might start out as they're just looking at pictures and they're listening to you, and then watch them later on. They can pick up that book and recite word for word that they've heard.
Right, and he does that often.
And you're thinking, oh, my baby can read. Well, they really can, because that's how it all starts, right? Although it's memorization, that's the beginning of reading.
Right. And again, you have to pick up these books and read these books and find whatever genre fits you.
Right.
If it's like my number one book is the Bible.
It's the Bible, right?
But I'm from one extreme to the next. I'll go pick up something erotic in a minute.
Right. Those fictional. Look, because now with the baby, you have a lot of those fictional.
Right. hey, we make it work.
Right.
But we do have to read. Again, there's so much information in these books. So get whatever book will please you and keep you, and you'll find yourself getting even relaxed in reading these books. But there's a lot in books, there's a lot in writings, and if I can back it up with Romans 15:4, said, "For whatever things were written aforetime were written for our learning." So again, books are fundamental. Books. Yeah.
Especially the Bible.
Yeah, exactly. That we, through patience and comfort of the scriptures, might have hope. So again, there's so much learning in there, and there's a lot of people who have said things that aren't necessarily in here. So pick it up and read it for yourself.
Right?
Learn these things for yourself. Because one thing I've heard people often say, cleanliness is next to godliness. And I'm not saying I know this thing from front to back, from front cover to back cover, but I know a lot, and I have not read that in there yet.
Right.
So I'm like, so a lot of things people say that they've heard and not necessarily read. So read this thing for yourself. This Bible, there's a lot in this Bible, boy, and you read through there, you're like, that's a whole story right there. And I'm gonna stop right here. I'm gonna stop right here, and then you're going on and further and further. So read this word, learn it for yourself, and you'll be so confident in this thing.
And it's a living truth. So you might read one thing today and read that very same thing tomorrow and get something totally different out of it, right?
That's
so the word, I mean, it jumps out at you, and it fits every situation. There's something. So that's where naturally spiritual comes from, because like I said, it real life, it connects to the spiritual, right?
It's all
so
intertwined.
It's all intertwined. And so and like we said, we know we're threw our little plug in there, but in all seriousness, just read any book. But
reading has to start young. It starts at the young ages. But reading is a requirement. I mean, if you're reading a stop sign, if you're reading anything from a stop sign, even to a loan closing document or whatever, you have to be able to read. You have to be able to comprehend what you're reading. So the more you do it, the better you'll become at it. So learn the phonics of it, the fundamentals of it, and all that stuff. And go ahead and read about these twins, and then go ahead and go to that shopping cart. Read that shopping cart, put this naturally spiritual title on your shopping cart. And if you can't do that, we just implore you to go ahead and like us,
share us,
leave us some comments,
and hit that subscribe button.
Happy reading.